Ever wondered how the Indian Contract Act of 1872 forms the backbone of commercial transactions in India? Well, today we're diving into the very first sections of this pivotal piece of legislation, Section 1 and Section 2. We kick off with Section 1. This section, succinctly titled Preamble and Title, is essentially the introduction to the Act. It lays out the Act's purpose, which is to define and amend certain parts of the law relating to contracts. It also establishes the Act's jurisdiction, stating that it extends to the whole of India. Now, moving forward to Section 2. This section is the definition clause, the glossary if you will, for the entire Act. It breaks down key terms used throughout the Act into subsections from A to J. In Section 2A we find the definition of proposal or offer. It states that when one person signifies to another their willingness to do or abstain from doing anything, with a view to obtaining the assent of that other to such act or abstinence, he is said to make a proposal. Section 2B defines promise. When the person to whom the proposal is made signifies his assent thereto, the proposal is said to have been accepted. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Section 2C defines the promisor and promisee. The person making the proposal is called the promisor, and the person accepting the proposal is called the promisee. It then continues to define a series of other terms including consideration, agreements, reciprocal promises, voidable contracts, void agreements, and contracts all the way up to J. To summarize, Section 1 sets the stage for the Act, explaining its purpose and scope of application. It's the hello of the Act. Section 2, on the other hand, is like a dictionary. It ensures everyone's on the same page about what specific terms mean, providing a clear understanding of the language used in the Act. In essence, these sections lay the groundwork for the rest of the Act, setting the tone and providing the necessary tools for understanding the complex world of contracts in India. Remember, a firm grasp on these initial sections will make understanding the rest of the Act a breeze. And there you have it, the first two sections of the Indian Contract Act, 1872, demystified. A seemingly complex piece of legislation made simple. Until next time, keep questioning, keep learning. Voiceover. Alright folks, let's delve deeper into the definitions provided under Section 2 of the Indian Contract Act, 1872. First, we have the proposal or offer. This is simply when one person signifies to another his willingness to do or abstain from doing anything, with the aim of obtaining the other person's agreement to such act or abstinence. Next we have promise and acceptance. A proposal, when accepted, becomes a promise. Simple enough, right? Then we meet our key players, the promisor and the promisee. The person making the proposal is called the promisor, and the person accepting the proposal is called the promisee. Next we have consideration. This is when, at the desire of the promisor, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing, or does or abstains from doing, or promises to do, or to abstain from doing something. Yes, it's a mouthful, but this act or abstinence or promise is what we call a consideration for the promise. Moving on, we have agreements. Every promise and every set of promises, forming the consideration for each other, is an agreement. Then we have reciprocal promises. These are promises which form the consideration or part of the consideration for each other. Finally, we have voidable contracts, void agreements, and contracts. An agreement not enforceable by law is said to be void. An agreement is a contract if it is made by the free consent of parties competent to contract for a lawful consideration and with a lawful object, and are not hereby expressly declared to be void. These definitions form the basis of understanding the Indian Contract Act, 1872. So, keep them in mind as we continue our journey in the next video.